Thank you. As General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, I love you all too. I love you. I love you. Let me join my colleagues who thank you for being here tonight. It's with a sense of great pride that I've been able, since the launch of the campaign, to go to Kitty and say that Kitty was the biggest crowd we've ever had there. I went to Albion and said the same thing. I went to Anna Regina and I said the same thing. And here too tonight in Linden, this is the biggest crowd ever in our history of campaigning here. I'm so excited, and the energy we have here tonight can end all the blackouts across Guyana, can power the whole country. That is until we bring the new power plant in place next year and the new solar facility here in Linden. But this is what makes us a national party. It's the vision of a Guyana that is united and strong. A vision where all of our people, regardless of their race or their religion or their gender, they find a home in a political party where they're treated with respect and they can look forward to the future, a party that will keep its word. And any political party that does not keep its word is not worth anything in this country. And you have had a chance in Guyana to see those who don't keep their promises. And you have seen the People's Progressive Party. So you have been in Linden, many of you across Region 10 have experienced life under various governments. We have never won this region at the regional level, and we have had all sorts of disruption from the people who manage this region. Sabotage. They don't want Region 10 to progress because they can then say the PPP discriminates against you. So they will sabotage all of our activities. But tonight, I don't want to talk about those people. You know who they are. The Deron Adams and the Sarma Solomons and the others who want you to believe that you can only make progress if you vote for them. Well, they can't even help themselves. How are they going to help you, Deron Adams or Sharma Solomon? And so, if we want to make what Edghill said a reality here in Region 10, if we want to win this region, we need to have conversations in our family. I rely on all of you. When you go back, take this flyer. In the party office, there is a flyer where we speak of all the promises we made in 2020 and how we have delivered on those promises. We promise to return the children grant that APNU took away. We have returned it and we have increased it to $50,000. With the 5,000 more that we've added, that's $11 billion per year more in the pockets of the parents of this country, because we have over 200,000 children. When you multiply it by 55,000 per year, it's $11 billion more that our families got from the government. We promised to double old age pension. It was $20,500 per month. It's $41,000 now per month. Guess how much more money people get per year, the pensioners, in their pockets because of this? $20 billion more than they were getting in 2020, because we fulfill that promise. We promised to return the joint services bonus. They now get $2 billion more tax-free. We promised to remove all the taxes, the 200 plus taxes. We removed them. And we promised no new taxes in the 5 years, and we did not institute a single tax. We promised to create more jobs, and right across Guyana, 60,000 people more are working. We promised to spend more money in your communities, and in the last 2 years alone, you had $18 billion spent on building roads, with 700 odd contractors from this region alone earning from that. So when you go and you talk to the young men in Linden and the street corners, and Win comes along and promises them $50,000 to wear a t-shirt or attend a meeting, ask them what happens after the $50,000 goes. What else do they have to offer you? And when APNU comes around, ask them, what is APNU really promising you? Outside of extrajudicial killing, they're talking about that, and racism. And you, in any case, you can't believe a word they say, because in 2020, they went to the young people and promised jobs. They promised housing. They promised better health care. They promised everything and delivered absolutely nothing. So when you go in Victory Valley or in Amelia's ward, and the young men are taking a drink, and they're having a conversation as to who to support, which political party will you support? And when the young women in this community who want to start a family and earn a job ask which party has the best plan for the future, under whose regime can I accomplish my dreams? I remember coming about 2 months back at Watuka House and speaking to over 1,000 young people. And you know what my message was? That one, we will push you hard on education. That is why we increase our education budget from $53 billion to $185 billion per year. That's why we promised 20,000 scholarships, but we delivered 39,000 scholarships. That's why we made university education free, as we promised. That is why we're paying for CXC and CSEC 8 subjects. That's why we increased the children grant. And in the next term, we said we are going to give every child a transportation grant. We're going to increase the Because We Care grant. We're going to make sure that whether you live in Mackenzie or Wisma or the Barbies River or in the mines, that your children and you can have access to university education right from your homes, because we're putting in Wi-Fi in many of those communities that don't have that. We will push the young men who are sitting on the street corners and think that they don't have any future. We will get them trained, give them a skill, pay for the training so they can work in their communities and get jobs here and create a better life for themselves. I said to the young people, apart from education, we want each of you to own your own home. That is why we're expanding nearly 3,000 house lots in this region. But we will do as many as it takes to ensure that every resident in this region and every other region can get a house lot. When you're a young man, you want that, or a young woman to start. And then we would also help them to build homes, because that is what we want for our young people. We will create more jobs in this region, better paying jobs, so that young people can start a life, get the education they need, get the health care. 30 million US would be spent on upgrading the Linden hospital. Right here, better health care. They can find opportunities. Many of you in this region have also, like people across the country, becoming contractors. There will be more opportunities, because when we start building the concrete drains here in Linden and across the country, many more will get contracts. Those who want to start a small business, we are now setting up a development bank so that you can get a zero-interest loan to start and expand your small business. The housewives, we said, we're going to tackle cost of living to make sure that we bring down costs. We put more money in people's pockets. You will get more grant from the government. The pensioners will see an increase. Everyone will see an increase. So when you're having this conversation in the street corner, and people have to decide which party to choose, we're a party of substance, a party that is offering a future for every Guyanese, unlike the others. Today you hear the rhetoric, oh, we didn't have oil money, but they collected $94 billion more per year because of increased taxes. But instead of spending it here in Linden on housing or jobs or in any other part of the country, what did they spend it on? It went on, as Mark said, the ministers took the first 3 months 50% increase in their salaries. They then spent it on health care for themselves. Food in the government, dietary went up by $2 billion. They didn't build any infrastructure. Now they said, you can't eat infrastructure. But it's true you can't eat infrastructure. But without infrastructure, you can't change the country. You can't generate more jobs. They're short-term in thinking. The oil money in the budget is only 37% of the budget. Our spending on education and health care and roads and bridges is more than all the oil money in the budget. Yet all of these promises they're making, wild promises like they made in 2020, will never be delivered. They have no plan to implement them. So they can say whatever they want. We offered to increase by 20% or 40%. They're saying 100%. When you listen to them, when you have the conversation in your family, these are the things you have to discuss. Take the flyer to youth home. Have a conversation around it, because we're not going to win the region by magic. We'd only win it because if people become conscious of the task ahead. And I'm relying on every single one of you to carry that message back to your homes and to your neighborhood. In the Amerindian communities up the river, now I see they go through motorcades like wind. The last time they came to Linden and they said, oh, we're gonna win Linden. And then they had a small crowd. They photoshopped the crowd several times and they put up a poster and we saw, like you would be 4 times in the poster, right? Look at this crowd here. We don't have to Photoshop any crowd. I saw they just posted online because they're shocked in Congress Place and Primus's eyes got even bigger tonight. And they're saying people from Linden is not there. They took the people from Berbice and Essequibo to Linden here. That is what they're saying. Because they're shocked. Last night, Apnu was in New Amsterdam and they had buses from Linden and still they couldn't make 700 people. We have thousands of people right here in Linden. The Lindeners are showing up. And the wind loves the Photoshop. They carry like 2 busloads of people. They carry them to every community and then take pictures of them and say, look how this community supports us. They did this in the Berbice River. They picked up people from New Amsterdam, 3 boatloads. Then they pick up a few along the way, give them t-shirts and carry them to all the Amerindian villages and say, Amerindians are supporting them. Well, it's not true. The Amerindians know that without the PPP, there would have been no progress in their communities. They know that win is a short-lived. This guy is trying to save his ass. He's trying to save his ass at the expense of the people of this country. The Americans sanction him. He thinks he can mislead people. Well, I was thinking about something, Mr. President. He says 2 days ago that he built more homes than the government. He gave out about maybe 75 houses. The government built thousands, but he's a prolific liar. So what if we collect all the taxes that he evaded? Will be with the penalties about $30 billion and then build 15,000 houses for all the people of the country. We may want to do that. Take the taxes alone that he evaded. Smuggling gold can build 15,000 houses. Maybe that's what we should do and collect it. This is a guy who is, I don't want to be unkind here tonight, but have you seen him? He hides from his own press conference. He hides from his press conference. It's all make-believe. Facebook. But Facebook doesn't vote. Real people vote. And here tonight, look at the real people. We have to go back to all those Amerindian communities that is misleading. We have to go to the corners of Linden. A lot of the people who wore the t-shirt a couple weeks ago had to fight for their 50,000. They had to fight and get beaten up for their 50,000. He's a scamp. So don't worry with him. And my dear friend Norton, you know I love Norton a lot. He's my brother. But really, Norton can't run a country. Why would you want to put the future, your children's future, in the hands of these people who have never ever run anything? Norton was a junior member of Granger's government. He didn't even have his own office. He had a title. Juretta Fernandes was Moses Nagamoto's secretary. She's their prime ministerial candidate. can you entrust your future, your children's future in their hands? They don't even know basic stuff. How can they keep our country safe from Venezuela? How can they plan for your future? They have no track record, no plan. How can they ever accomplish anything? And the other political parties are the same, AFC, and Win, well, he is useless. So tonight, I want you to listen to the president. I don't want to go on for very long. I speak for long periods. Listen, on Thursdays at my press conference, I will be addressing all of these issues and many more. But tonight is a night for you who've come here to go back home and have that conversation with your family and with your neighbors, with the young men who are being misled by propaganda once again. Those who continue to push racism, tell them we're killing racism in this country. The PPP is killing racism in this country. You have heard enough tonight. I expect all of you to lend a helping hand between now and 1st of September. It's your future at stake here. And don't risk it. Don't risk it. Take chances. Be beguiled by sweet talk, as someone said. Right now, the opposition has no plan for the future, and they have no experience to implement a plan, even if they had one. So your only choice is one political party. People's Progressive Party. Civic, September 1, let's move forward to victory. Thank you very much.